Conclusion, the beginning, Q&A. Bev, do you have any final closing thoughts or advice for parents as they go forward from here?
So many, but to just touch on a few, I would say that this book is giving you the opportunity to fill in your own space and create your own book, because this is also about your journey as a human being and as a parent, and recognizes the fact that you might read a lot of this and say, yeah, right, I wish I had the patience for that, or I wish I could control my temper. And I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that this is a process, but it's a process I've been on, and it's a process of work I've done. And that's what I mentor and facilitate and train. It's my passion to help people find that centeredness and that peacefulness that they yearn for, so they can live lives of passion and consciousness in their relationships with themselves and their partners and their children. And so recognize that this is a process, and if you wish to begin it, yay, there's so many different avenues for you to explore it and for you to begin to grow yourself and unpack all your things, and there's lots of different ways for you to do it. So if you want to be raising your consciousness as a parent, fantastic, and as a human being, fantastic, off you go. Begin. Just begin, and don't be afraid to be beginning again, changing the way you do things. It's fine. People recreate themselves, and if they recognize they're fluid and we constantly flow and change, then embracing new opportunities and new ways of being is not so scary. It's just saying, I recognize this is not serving me, and I'd like to be doing things that serve me, so I'm going to begin again and seek mentorship in a real and meaningful way. And the other thing I would also want to say, so importantly, is I use this quote of Anne Frank's, and for those of us who don't know, Anne Frank was hidden in an annex during World War II until she was found and died ultimately in the Auschwitz death camp. And she says it so profoundly. Parents can only give good advice or put them on the right paths, but the final forming of a person's character lies in their own hands. And I think that is just so profound for a young woman who is in captivity, actually, and being kept from truly exploring herself and truly getting to know herself, realizing that children have to take responsibility for who they become, and our parents can only contribute to who we be, and they can only support our environment and how we discover ourselves, and etc. And so what I'm saying in this is, yes, be the best parent you can be for yourself. Yes, embrace the opportunities to work on yourself and raise your level of consciousness and dignity and compassion in the which you raise your child. But be very aware that that does not secure you an ideal outcome where your child will be everything you could possibly hope for. Give your child the opportunity to figure out who they are, knowing you stack the odds in your favor and their favor of having given them the best love and support and encouragement in which they could discover themselves and their environment in a context where they knew they'd survive hurt and survive disappointment and survive failure and survive choices. And you can give to your children that which the world yearns for, the permission to be all they can become, and the knowledge to know they deserve the very best for themselves in life and in love. And it's about working on yourself to give them the permission to be that, but ultimately, yes, it's going to be up to them. So let them have that platform.
Bev, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. You've been listening to the audiobook version of The Survival Guide to Parenthood Through the Eyes of a Single Mother by Bev Milun.